with the words I couldn't say, holding on to every heartbeat as you slowly turned away. The sunlight hit your shoulder like a truth I couldn't face. Love was right there in my hands, we're slipping through the space. I almost told you everything fear can make the sweetest hearts misbehave, and I let the moment fade. Just a breath too late, just a second I couldn't take. I watched you walk into a life I should have tried to chase. If timing is a fragile thing, I learned it on that day. Love was right before my eyes, but I came just a breath too late. You look back for a moment, like you hope I'd call your name, like you felt the weight of something we were both too scared to claim. I felt the words rise in me, but they froze against the air, and all the futures we could have had just vanished standing there. If I had reached a little more, if I had pushed through all my doubt, maybe we'd have figured it out. Just a breath too late, just a second I couldn't take. I watched you walk into a life I should have tried to chase. If timing is a fragile thing, I learned it on that day. Love was right before my eyes, but I came just a breath too late. I'll speak before you turn, and all the quiet almost moments will finally get their turn. But in this world I'm learning how a dream can slip away, not with a storm or screaming, but a breath you didn't say. Just a breath too late, just a truth I couldn't face. I held the words behind my tongue till they lost their saving grace, and now I live with what ifs that time can't recreate. The love I almost had with you, I came just a breath too late. We were sitting by the window with the night against the glass, talking like two strangers, trying not to fall too fast. Your smile was something fragile, like a truth you wouldn't say. And I felt the world get smaller when you slowly looked my way. There was something in your voice, something quiet, something brave, a moment holding on to us before it slipped away. Last night we were something more than friends, but not yet love. Caught between a maybe and the fear of waking up. You touched my hand so lightly, like you weren't sure what it meant. But I swear my heart remembered every second that we spent. Last night we were something, something I won't forget. You were laughing at my stories like you hadn't laughed in years, and the softness in your eyes told a truth we couldn't hear. I wanted just to hold you, but the moment held us both, two hearts frozen in the warmth of something getting close. It was simple, it was tender, it was everything we missed. A quiet little universe inside a stolen kiss. Last night we were something more than friends, but not yet love. Caught between a maybe and the fear of waking up. You touched my hand so lightly, like you weren't sure what it meant. But I swear my heart remembered every second that we spent. Last night we were something, something I won't forget. Maybe timing wasn't ready, maybe hearts were out of tune, but in the glow of midnight I felt safe with you. And even if it fades like the last light of the dawn, you gave me one soft moment where it felt like we belonged. Last night we were something, a spark we didn't dare to name, a gentle kind of almost love that may not come again. And though we walked away like nothing really changed, I'm holding on to how it felt before the morning came. Last night we were something, and I'll never be the same.
I remember how you held me like the night would never break, how your heartbeat painted softness in the spaces love would make. But even gentle hands grow tired, even promises grow thin, and I felt the slow unraveling before you let me in. Your touch grew like a shadow, soft but pulling far away. a warmth that once felt endless, fading more each day. It was love that slipped through fingers, like water we couldn't keep, falling quiet, falling slow, like a half-remembered dream. I tried to hold the moment, but it drifted out of reach. We were losing what we needed, love that slipped through fingers quietly. You were staring out the window, like your heart was somewhere else, and I felt the empty distance in the silence we both held. Your smile didn't reach your eyes, your voice was soft but strange, a gentle truth unspoken in the quiet we became. I reached for you with everything, but you were fading all the same, a ghost inside the comfort of the life we couldn't name. It was love that slipped through fingers, like water we couldn't keep, falling quiet, falling slow, like a half-remembered dream. I tried to hold the moment, but it drifted out of reach. We were losing what we needed, love that slipped through fingers quietly. Soft goodbyes begin as fading sounds, and maybe letting go is not the hardest part. It's knowing love can disappear, even when it warms the heart. It was love that slipped through fingers, warm and fragile till the end, a tenderness that lingered even when it couldn't mend. And though I still remember every way you once held me, we were holding on to nothing, love that slipped through fingers quietly. Lying here awake again, in the traces of your touch, where the night still holds your perfume, and I feel you just enough. The moonlight paints your silhouette on the walls you used to know, a fading spark that warms the dark, still burning low. Love doesn't end in moments, it lingers in the air, a the memories start to fall. I swear I hear you breathing when the wind moves through the room. A gentle ghost of love that stayed long after you. I try to chase the silence out, but every thought returns to the softness of your final kiss, the one that still burns. I'm sleepless in the afterglow, where your warmth refused to go, holding on to shadows of the nights we used to know. Your heartbeat still echoes in the places you let go. I'm wide awake and missing you, sleepless in the afterglow, sleepless in the afterglow. Maybe love survives in the spaces where we cry, in the whispers of the night, where we still feel alive. And even though you're gone, I see you in the fading light. I'm sleepless in the afterglow, where the past still feels like home. Your touch, your voice, your everything, all the warmth I can't outgrow. If moving on means losing you, I'm not sure I wanna know. So here I am, still wide awake, sleepless in the afterglow, sleepless in the afterglow, sleepless in the afterglow. We were lying on the sofa with the night against the blinds, pretending we were closer than the distance in our minds. Your hand was in my hand, but the warmth was growing thin. Love doesn't break in moments, it fades slow from deep within. I felt the quiet tremble of something losing light, two hearts barely holding on the edges of goodbye. We were softly falling apart, like a whisper breaking in the dark. No shout, no sharp ending, just the ache of love descending. You looked at me with quiet eyes that didn't feel like mine, and in that fragile fading spark, we were softly falling apart. We kept talking about tomorrow, like the future still was ours, but every promise sounded hollow in the shadow of the hours. You smiled to keep me steady, but your voice betrayed the truth. Somewhere in the space between us, you were learning how to move. And though your touch was gentle
I could feel the drifting star. You were holding me with tenderness, but not with all your heart. We were softly falling apart, like a whisper breaking in the dark. No shouting, no sharp ending, just the ache of love descending. You looked at me with quiet eyes that didn't feel like mine. In that fragile, fading spark, we were softly falling apart. Maybe love dissolves without a reason or a sound, just two souls slowly learning they can't find the common ground. And though the night was peaceful, the truth was loud inside. You can lose someone so gently, you don't notice when they slide. We were softly falling apart, like a tender break of fragile hearts. No storm, no tears, no shouting, just the softness of the outing. And even now I hear the sound of what we couldn't keep alive, a quiet ending from the start, as we softly fell apart. I still remember mornings when your smile was meant for me. Before the world began to pull you toward the place you had to be. You said you needed time, but time just turned to space. And I kept waiting for the moment you'd come back and choose this place. But every sunrise showed me a truth I didn't want to see. Love doesn't always pick the heart that's begging silently. These were the days you didn't choose me, when your heart was somewhere else. I tried to hold the pieces, but they shattered on themselves. You drifted slowly from my hands like something never meant to be. I felt you leaving day by day, the days you didn't choose me. Your laughter turned to silence in the corners of our home. And I learned how someone's presence can feel colder than alone. You touched me out of habit, but the warmth just wasn't there. Love can break so quietly, you don't notice till you stare. And though I tried to reach you, my heart could feel the truth. You can't hold on to someone who's already leaving you. These were the days you didn't choose me, when your heart was somewhere else. I tried to hold the pieces, but they shattered to a restless, aching heart. Maybe letting go is softer when you're already apart. And though I'll always miss the urge we almost learned to be, I know the truth still stands in quiet honesty. These were the days you didn't choose me, and I finally understand. Love can fade without intention, even when we held it in our hands. I'll carry what you gave me, but I'll set the rest free, 'cause I'm learning how to breathe again. From the days you didn't choose me. We were standing in the doorway, where the shadows start to blur, trying not to break the silence with the truth we both inferred. Your hand slipped from my fingers, like a memory losing weight. No anger in the moment, just a love that came too late. The room felt strangely peaceful as the distance found its place. Two hearts quietly surrendering to what time could not erase. This is the soft edge of goodbye, where the tears don't fall, where we barely even try, where your touch fades slow like a whisper in the night. No storm, no fight, just the soft edge of goodbye. You were smiling through the sadness, trying hard to keep it kind, but your eyes were telling stories of the love you'd left behind. I wanted you to hold me like you used to every night, but the warmth was slowly thinning in the fading hallway light. And though we didn't say it, we both knew we couldn't stay. Some endings are the gentle ones that softly slip away. This is the soft edge of goodbye, where the tears don't fall,
the soft edge of goodbye. Maybe love is meant to leave in ways we hardly feel. Not a shatter or a breaking, just a truth becoming real. And maybe letting go doesn't always mean we're through. It means the heart remembers what it can't hold on to. This is the soft edge of goodbye, where your shadow lingers, but your heart has learned to fly. Where we breathe out all the moments we couldn't keep alive, and walk into tomorrow from the soft edge of goodbye. We loved in quiet rooms where sunlight kissed the floor, where every whispered moment made me need you even more. The stillness held your laughter, the shadows held your name. Every gentle touch you gave lit up my heart like flame. But quiet spaces change when love begins to fade. The warmth becomes a memory you can't ask to stay. We loved in quiet rooms where the world felt soft and true, where your hands were home to me, where I only wanted you. Now those walls feel cold and empty, like they're mourning what we knew. We loved in quiet rooms, and I still ache for you. We spoke in softer voices in the middle of the night, sharing secrets in the darkness till the dawn replaced the light. Silence grew between us, a distance slow and deep, the kind that steals the warmth away before you even think to speak. And though you tried to hide it, I felt you slowly drift. Love doesn't always break, sometimes it simply shifts. We loved in quiet rooms where the world felt soft and true, where your hands were home to me, where I only wanted you. Now those walls feel cold and empty, like they're mourning what we knew.
loved in quiet rooms, and I still ache for you. Maybe love is made of whispers in the dark, little flickers of a promise we hold inside the heart. And even when it's over, the echo still remains, a tender haunting melody that time can't erase. We lived in quiet rooms where forever felt so close, where your breath was on my shoulder, where I loved you more than most. Now I walk through fading shadows of a love I once called home. We loved in quiet rooms, and now I love alone.
There's a quiet in the evening where your voice used to belong, a gentle space between the moments where we learned to love too long. I walk the rooms we once felt safe in, but the warmth has turned to cold, and everything I thought I'd lost is everything my heart still holds. Time moves on without asking if we're ready for the change. But some truths stay rooted, even when the world rearranges. And this is what my heart still knows: the way your touch felt soft and slow, the way your laughter warmed the dark and lit the places we'd outgrown. Even though we let it fade, some love never fully goes. You're the truth my heart still knows. I still keep the little letters you once left beside my bed, words you wrote on sleepless nights that still echo in my head. And though life moved you forward but I still feel what we became. A quiet love that settled in and never learned to change. And this is what my heart still knows. The way your touch felt soft and slow, the way your laughter warmed the dark and lit the places we'd outgrown. Even though we let it fade, some love never fully goes. You're the truth my heart still knows. Maybe love is more than holding hands and promising forever. Maybe it's the memory that keeps our broken pieces tethered. And even if the road has changed and you're somewhere I can't go, you're still the line my heart returns to in the quiet of my soul. And this is what my heart still knows, the part of you that never goes, a warmth that lingers in the dark, a spark that still feels like a home. Even if you move beyond the place where our story flows, you're what my heart still knows. Something had shifted in the space between your words, a softness slowly thinning, like a song no longer heard. You used to say my name like it meant something to hold, but that night it felt so distant. That night your voice turned cold. I tried to find the warmth you used to give so easily, but every gentle promise felt like slipping memory. When your voice turned cold, I felt the truth unfold. The love you used to carry had nowhere left to go. You spoke like you were leaving, though you didn't say the words. I heard the quiet ending in the tremble of your tone. It's when your voice turned cold. You were standing in the doorway, like you didn't want to stay. The tenderness I knew so well was slowly pulling away. I asked you if you loved me, but your silence told me more. The feeling can't stop living long before someone walks out the door. And though you tried to spare me by hiding what you felt, a fading heart can still be heard in every word you held. When your voice turned cold, I felt the truth unfold. The love you used to carry had nowhere left to go. You
You spoke like you were leaving, though you didn't say the words. I heard the quiet ending in the tremble of your tone. That's when your voice turned cold. Oh, maybe love grows tired even when we want it strong. Maybe hearts stop speaking when they've stayed unheard too long. And though you didn't break my heart with anger or with blame, it shattered just the same when your voice turned cold. The night felt harsh and known. Every syllable grew heavy with the truth you didn't show. You whispered one last promise, but the meaning didn't hold. I knew our fire was fading when your voice turned cold. Standing in the doorway with the night behind your eyes, holding back the broken truth that silence can't disguise. I knew before you said a word that something had grown thin. Love sometimes leaves so softly, you can't tell where it begins. And in that fragile moment, I felt the world grow still. The kind of hurt that doesn't shout, the kind that always will. You left in a whisper, not a cry, just the quiet truth of things misplaced. You left so gently, I almost didn't see. You left in a whisper from me. Your shadow lingered on the wall, like it didn't wanna go. And I reached out just to touch what my heart already knew. Your warmth was slowly thinning like a fire losing glow. A love that once burned deeply now flickered faint and low. I tried to hold the moment, but it slipped between my hands. A goodbye wrapped in kindness I still don't understand. You left in a whisper, not a cry, not a plea, just a soft fade and tremble as you walked away from me. No slamming door, no last embrace, just the quiet truth of things misplaced. You left so gently, I almost didn't see.
some endings aren't meant to tear apart. Maybe some goodbyes are meant to break the heart. Slowly, quietly, tenderly, like rain on empty streets. A sorrow wrapped in softness, where love and silence meet. You left in a whisper, barely stirring up the air. Just a breath of something fading, a goodbye too soft to bear. And I still chase the memory of your voice before it ceased. The night you slipped away so gently. You left in a whisper, at peace. I can still feel your fingers, like a whisper on my sleeve. A small reminder of a moment you were trying not to leave. You didn't say a word, but the silence told the truth. Sometimes love slips slowly when it's outgrowing you. And though the door closed softly, the echoes stay the same. Tenderness that lingered long after you walked away. Your touch stayed behind, like warmth that never learned to fade. A quiet ghost upon my skin that time could never take away. You're gone from my tomorrow, but you live inside my mind. 'Cause even when your love was leaving, your touch stayed behind. The pillow still remembers how you breathe against the night. The hallway holds your footsteps in the shadows of its light. I try to wash the memories from the corners of my heart. It's something soft and fragile, holding every part. I tell myself to move on, but I can't undo the truth. A piece of you still lingers where my hands once tangled you. Your touch stayed behind, like warmth that never learned to fade. A quiet ghost upon my skin that time could never take away. You're gone from my tomorrow, but you live inside my mind. 'Cause even when your love was leaving, your touch stayed behind. Maybe love leaves fingerprints on everything it graces. Little traces of connection we can't cover, can't replace it. And though the night grows colder where your heartbeat used to stay, the warmth of you remains in its tender, haunting way. Your touch stayed behind, like a light that didn't wanna die. A gentle echo on my skin that still whispers you and I. You're a memory in the distance, but your warmth is still entwined. 'Cause even when you said goodbye, your touch stayed behind.